everybody, so I am trying out yet another new foundation. I don't know if you've realized, but there have been a lot of new foundations that have come out in the last few weeks, maybe a couple of months. And today I am trying Dior Star. There's the card that came with my samples. Well, I actually have two different colors here, so there's two cards. This foundation is supposed to be Studio Makeup Spectacular, Brightening Weightless Perfection with Sunscreen, and it is long wearing, SPF 30. So I've been reading up about this foundation, and I'm told, from what I've heard on YouTube videos and other reviews, that the sunscreen doesn't reflect back in pictures like most of my other foundations do, and it's horrible if you take a flash photo for some of your makeup. It doesn't necessarily look as great in the photo as it does in person, and that's a problem for me because most of the time when I'm wearing a face of foundation, it's because I'm going out to an event somewhere where my photo is going to be taken. So I'm looking for a foundation that doesn't have that flashback, and of course my Face Atelier that I do use doesn't have that issue because there's no sunscreen in it. So that's what I wear traditionally when I'm going out, but I'm looking for something else that I don't have to order online. So there are only four color options for women of my complexion and darker, and those are 50, 60, 70, and 80. So I have here two colors, 50 and 60. Don't know if you can see that. One of them is 50 is a little yellow, and 60 is a slightly red. I'll add a photo here. So I'm going to be putting these on camera so you can help me pick a color. So when I was in the Dior, at the Dior counter in the department store, I kind of thought 50 worked, and so did the makeup artist at Dior that was helping me, but some of the other makeup artists that were at the Dior counter thought that 60 looked better, so I wasn't quite sure which one to get, so I got samples of both, and I'm going to do a full face with 50 and 60, so you guys can help me decide which color is the best for me. And of course I'll take photos before and after so you can see what they look like in the sunlight and also with the flash. So I'll probably I'll add some photos in dim lighting as well so we can determine if the flashback is what I'm expecting it to be, which is nothing, no gray cast or anything like that. So 50 is, from what I can tell, it's kind of a golden yellow undertone, which is me. So we'll see if it really looks as good now as it did in the store when we swatched it. We also swatched 70 in the store. That one was knocked out immediately by the makeup artist, although I really didn't look at it closely myself. So she did find that it was a little too deep for my complexion and wiped it off pretty quickly. We did not swatch 80. So I'm going to go ahead and put on 60 right now so you can see what that looks like. And I'm just working from my little sample here. And I'm just going to put some of this on the back of my hand. And I'm told it's best to apply this with your fingers. I have some brushes here, so I'll do that as well, but I'm just going to start applying it with my fingers. It actually is not it's not too orangey looking now that I'm sitting here blending it in. I thought it would be based on looking at it in the bottle, but it actually does not look too orangey to me. It has a slight red undertone to it, but definitely not as red as some of the other foundations that I've tried. But of course you gotta leave it on for a little while and see if it oxidizes and if it turns colors, because that does sometimes happen to me. The only thing on my face, by the way, is moisturizer, my Embryolisse. I don't have anything else on my face. I'm going to blend this in with a brush just so I can make sure I don't have any patchiness, because I do sometimes notice patchiness in flash photos when trying out different foundations. This actually is a very nice feel to it, blending it in with my hands. It's almost like a liquid to powder, kind of like the Lancome Nude that I just recently tried out. It's supposed to be long wear, and right now it doesn't seem like it's matte to me, although I've read that it's supposed to be kind of a soft matte. So there is 60, and I'm going to blend this in a little bit. This is my Bdellium Tools 957 brush. Just want to kind of blend it in a little to make sure don't have patchiness. I'm told that one pump is sufficient to cover your whole face. I'm using the sample, so I don't really know how much one pump is. But we are going to see how this looks. I'm going to add just a tad bit more to cover some of the spots on my nose and around my mouth. I would say that this is medium coverage, and it probably can be built up based on what I'm seeing. It probably can be built up to full coverage. Right now it's not looking cakey, even though I'm adding more than I normally would. But I'm just testing this out to see how much I can really build it up. I'm going to cover some of my moles. I know my Face Atelier works pretty well to cover these moles. Just kind of makes me look like I have perfect skin, which I know a lot of you say that I do, but I really don't have perfect skin. Alright, so that is 60. And I'm going to go ahead and take some photos of this inside and outside, and I'll add them in here. I'll be back in a minute. I can see why some of the makeup artists at Dior picked this 60 color, because although it does give me a sun-kissed look, it doesn't have that orange kind of Oompa Loompa thing going on. You know how you kind of turn orange by the time you get home after wearing foundation for a while and it's oxidized on you. So this does have a very nice sun-kissed look to it. I can tell that I have it on, which is not really a problem, but I'm going to try the 50 and see what you guys think, because you're going to help me pick a color. I'll be back. So I am back, and I have cleaned off the color number 60 Dior Star off of my face, and now I'm going to try the 50. So this is the color that I thought looked better in the store along with the makeup artist who was helping me. But as I mentioned previously, there were several other Dior makeup artists that thought the 60 looked better. So that is why I tried it first. So this is what the 50 looks like. It has a kind of neutral, I guess, golden, well no, it's like a golden yellow kind of undertone. So I'm just going to put some of this on the back of my hand. And again, I'm going to do the same and blend it in with my fingers, and then use a brush to blend it out better. And supposedly one pump of this will cover your entire face. I obviously don't have the bottle, so I cannot say that for sure. But that is what I have read and seen on some YouTube reviews that have used this foundation. I'm not quite sure what one pump is the equivalent of, but I'm sure that I will shortly find out. It definitely does not have a dry looking matte finish to it, from what I can tell. It's more of a, I would even call it like a velvety finish. Even though this is much higher coverage than the foundations that I normally use, it doesn't look cakey. I'm going to add a little bit more on my forehead. So the color definitely out of the bottle looks a little more neutral to me than golden, but I'm going to see how it looks once I get it all blended in. I'm feeling like this is too light. And there are no shades in between the 50, 60, 70, and 80. So if you're used to the Dior brand where there's the option that ends in 0, option ending in 1, option ending in 2, and option ending in 3. That is not the case with this product. They only have, at least right now, they only have the shades 50, 60, 70, and 80 for women with a darker complexion. Alright, so I'm going to blend this out. This is my Sephora 134 brush. And I'll be adding photos inside and outside, as well as with a flash in a dark room, so I can see what the flashback is with this, since it is SPF 30. Alright, so this is the Diorskin Star 50, and this is the one that the makeup artist preferred. And I'm going to stop here and go and take some photos. I'll be right back. Hey guys, so I'm back. So this is the Diorskin Star foundation in color 50, and this isn't the sample that I'm using. I feel like it's too light. I can see why the makeup artist at the Dior counter did pick this one, but I do feel like the 50 is too light, while the 60 has a little bit too much of a sun-kissed look to it. So let me know, what do you think, 50 or 60? And again, Dior does not have these this new foundation in the 1, 2, and 3 series like they normally do. With the, I guess, neutral is 0, which is not the case with 50, 60, 70, and 80. While 1, 2, and 3 have different undertones, with, I guess, 3 usually being like a peachy undertone. So as of right now, I do not think that I have a match in the Dior Star foundation. 50 is too light, 60 is a little bit too sun-kissed for me. So let me know what you guys think. And I'm going to leave this on for a little while to see if it oxidizes and turns to a more flattering color. But as of right now, yeah, I don't think I have a color match in this foundation.